Ah, Light. Light's there. Hello, Light. Welcome to Simon no茶の間. I'm not in my living room today. I am in Baroque, Antwerp. More specifically, in a alleyway dating to the 16th century, 1591. Used to be posh at one time, but anyway, let's. If there's anybody there, comments, top chat, live chat, all messages are visible. Okay, nobody watching. People were waiting, but they were no longer there. Anyway, I'm going to switch the camera around. And you can see we're in this little courtyard. Looks quite Italian. I've been in Venice and Verona and places like that. It looks quite similar. But you would hardly believe that we're actually right in the middle of Antwerp. Hi, Nosh. We're right in the middle of Antwerp. And unless you know it, if you come off the main street there and down this little alleyway, it looks like you're going into somebody's house. Hey, you actually come out into this little courtyard. And it goes on. It goes on through here. There's little restaurants and arty shops down here. It used to be the poorest part, one of the poorest parts, one of the few remaining ancient alleyways in best preserved, shall I say. Got these people past. We can hear the cathedral carillon in the background, hopefully. Say if you can. This is a restaurant. I googled it to see whether it was worth going for here for lunch, but unfortunately it has not the best reputation for speedy service. So I'm now running out of time. But anyway, let's just look where we've come. Looks more like a prison. At some point during my wander, I will need to find food. As you can see, it's quite narrow here. That leads, I'm not quite sure where that leads, to nowhere. Or maybe, if I go up here. Oh, you can go that way. Let's go this way. Yes, the architecture here is 16th century, mostly. No, I've never been here before, in this alleyway before. Not that I frequent alleyway, that looks rather nice. I mean, I may debate going in there. There we go, 1591, just for some evidence. Oh, that appears to be it. Oh, then we'll head towards the cathedral then. Some rather nice places here. I think one of them is a sushi restaurant. Down touristy area here. Oh, there's the cathedral. On my cover photo it appears. I'll head that way. Everybody's having lunch. I shall have to have that once I've finished. Yep. Wang sushi. Very, very Japanese. Font. The red hat. I have a hat like that, but not red. There we are. If we go down this way, we'll come towards the cathedral. Now, I investigated whether to go up that tower, but it's only open on Wednesdays in the summer. So I've been spared a long climb. If there's wind noise, I apologise. It's windy. And of course, there's scaffolding. I'll head back that way later, but there are more little streets to explore around here. I've got to try and get to a place called St Paul's Church. I can't remember how to get there now. Oh dear. I was going to have it on Google Maps and walk there. It's a rather strange marble baby. Oh, what is it? Yes. Ah. I'm not quite sure whether you can go in there. Do we want to make a wish? Is it a wishing well? Let's go this way. Slightly quieter. I did try and research a little bit about Antwerp, and it originated in the, let's think, the 3rd century? 3rd century AD. Oh, I lost everybody there for a second. Reconnecting. So yes, 3rd century origins, and the name Antwerp is debated. There's a legend, which we'll talk about later, but originally it just meant something as mundane as a bank of sand in the corner of a river. It's very prosaic. This is apparently a nice restaurant, but if I go in there, I'll have to shut up, which is hardly the point of a live stream. If there are any questions, feel free to ask. Oh dear, it sounded to be expected. What is to be expected? It's nice and quiet. I follow somebody on Instagram who has a business somewhere near here. I wonder when I should pop in. As you can see, it's an eclectic mix of 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th century buildings. And chocolates. Who wants to have a look at chocolates? I have to take this umbrella off. It's, there you are, Nosh. Chocolates. I think the place is round here, yes, where, there we are, backyard. Here we're coming into the main square of Antwerp, and we'll see the statue from which was representative of the legend of the name of Antwerp. I may go in there for lunch and say hello as they do lunch. That's the City Hall. And almost like Brussels, there's a collection of merchants' houses from from the late 17th century. It's all tucked around. And that's that Japanese couple again. It was busy near the station. Let's have a look. Can you see the statue? It's supposed to represent a Roman captain. Why Roman captains wandered around in stark nude, I don't know. But there was a giant that was cutting off the hands of anybody who was attempting to cross the river on a ferry without paying him. So this Roman captain took it upon himself to cut off the hand of the giant, and he threw it into the river. And from there we get the name Ant, meaning, which is Dutch for hand, and throw, werpen, Antwerpen. Sounds very dodgy to me. I'd go with more the prosaic version, but there we go. As you can see, a whole collection of typical lowland buildings all gathered around the market square with the cathedral, which is actually the tallest, has the tallest spire in the Low Countries, and took them 169 years to build the entire. It's very dedicated. More of those buildings with golden statues. You like their windows, I have to say. If we head left or right, people, left or right? Tell me, say something. If there's no other option, I'm going to go left. I'm going to have to put my umbrella up. Excuse me. Something I was saying. Yeah, that's practicing my Japanese there. So yes, we're now going to head towards the river. The river that was actually the lifeblood of the city. I was reading that actually Antwerp has gone through various phases. At one time it was just an insignificant town until the river further up silted up in Bruges, and meant that Antwerp could flourish because it had better access to the sea and transport and trade and so on. And then the river here silted up, or was closed. Now it was closed, that's right. The access to the river was closed. Lots of people invaded and stuff. Spanish, Austrians, French, and closed the river to trade. And consequently, Antwerp sort of deteriorated. Although at one of the periods that it was closed in the 17th century, it flourished in terms of art. And you had people like Rubens and Van Dyck. And not quite this kind of art. Appear to have lost somebody. Oh, they've come back. They were making a cup of tea, perhaps. More scaffolding as we head towards the river. It looks very dreary, I'm afraid. Across the river, it gets even drearier. I've done deliveries over there. It's the left side, the left bank of the river. It's all just sort of 20th century modern high-rise buildings. Now it's starting to persist it down. Do ask questions, feel free. And one of the oldest buildings will appear shortly. A small castle built to defend against Viking attack in the 11th century. Well, we can get there. It's not that bridge though. hand's freezing. If Matthew's there, you're probably jealous that it's so cold here. He was telling me earlier it was 47.8 degrees Celsius in Australia. Where is it? Where's this castle? Have I passed it? Where's it gone? Oops, okay. Oh, there it is. Looks like it's made of Lego. And it's got scaffolding all over it. Oh dear. Alright, let's head back. This is slightly more picturesque. Alright, I'll just pop back to me for a second. Oh dear, my hair. Well, here we are, exploring the streets of Antwerp in the rain and the cold. And now I did plan to go to a church, extremely Baroque church with a Baroque interior and some very creepy statues. But I don't know how to get there. I'll have to find a map. I'll just switch back. So where were we? Yes. So it flourished and then faded and flourished and faded. But then, after Belgium became independent, it once again in 1830, it was in a state of fading. Antwerp at that point, just a small provincial town. But then, from 1868, the river was opened again, and that led to Antwerp becoming one of the largest and most thriving ports in Europe. And believe you me, it's quite busy, but exceedingly dreary. The port area. They do have tours of it, but it's just container dock after container dock in a flat landscape. It's very dreary, but it's economically successful, I suppose. And of course, they have the Antwerp diamond trade, Europe's leading diamond centre, if not the world, one of the world's leading diamond centres. If you're into diamonds. Meat factory, it says over there. Let's not go to the meat factory. Let's go back down into the little narrow streets around here. If I find a street map somewhere, I can maybe locate where the St. Paul's Church is. Oh, hang on, tourist information. Maybe they have a map on the wall or something. Yeah, very quiet audience. Or is it just not my 4G not working properly and there's lots of comments and I'm not seeing them or something? Tourist information. Doesn't appear to be a map on the wall. Just inside the building. Just going to pop in and see if they've got a free map. Antwerp on foot. No, they're just leaflets. Excuseer, heeft u soms een plattegrond? Dank je wel. There we are. Helps to ask. Now, of course, I've got to try and negotiate this with one hand. St. Paul's Church. Where is it? This isn't going to be easy. I can tell you. Let's go and explore the remainder of it while I try and not let this blow away in the wind. Hello, if you've just joined us. We're in Antwerp. This is the cathedral, which most people have already seen now several times. There are other areas. There's the south. Antwerp south is quite nice. It's very arty, but it's a long walk to there. This is central. This is the historic centre, as they say. It's not going to work. Trying to read a map with one hand. Fish and chips. I'm hungry. Come to Belgium, eat fish and chips. I have 4 dedicated viewers. That's good. I've been told that people watch my shows more as a podcast with me waffling on in the background and not actually watching what I'm doing. I could have just stayed at home for this, pretended I was in Antwerp or something. That's the case. Let's go down here, where I was going to go before. Excuse the wind noise. Monumental churches. Here we are. Wait a minute. St. Andreas, St. Carolus, St. Jacob, St. Paulus. C4. C4 on the map. Okay. This is where my map, excuse me, blows away. I shall have to go put it up against the wall of the C4. God knows. G1, J2, F3, E4. C4, where's C4 people? C4 is there. C4, St. Paulus Church, number 22. Yeah, but it's not so cozy around there. That's for another time. That was up near that castle. I'll head towards this area. Hello, my focus is all gone. Hello. If I swap the camera back. There we are. Oh dear. My focus had gone for a minute there. Right, let's try it back again. Yes, there we are. We've got the Antwerp Hilton.
Hello, buongiorno, prego signori.
We'll go this way. Somebody hawking for business there. Sorry. I'm not interested in Italian food right now. Right now I could do with with a pie and chips and a beer or something like that. Food and drinks. I did mean to come a little bit earlier and have food before I started. This appears to be old food. It's torture. So if you've just joined us, we're wandering aimlessly in the streets of Antwerp because I forgot that I can't look at Google Maps and do a live stream at the same time on my phone. So my plan to go to the St. Paul's Church and show you a Baroque interior has rather fallen flat. I have the Philadelphia bookshop. Oh yeah, Catch Up with Jesus. Okay. Swallow Street. Have any of you been to Antwerp? Had the pleasure of visiting the city? I don't know. Keep losing people. We appear to be heading back towards the more modern part of the town. I shall turn left here. Perhaps that'll... Not really. Slightly better. Look at me for a change. So next week on my show, I am currently trying to negotiate with two people, and if one of them is watching, as our shoe, I'm looking at you. Try and get in touch with me and well, look at my messages, because there could be a specialist in Japanese court music joining me next week if I don't get knocked over. I've got a slightly better view of the cathedral there. Oh, no, you haven't. You've got my face. There. You can see the sort of like the full length of it. The pigeons. What have we got here? Oh, Rubens. There we go. Rubens. Let's have a look at him. Anybody know any of the paintings of Rubens? Yeah. It's silhouette, unfortunately. There's a seagull on his head. Now, I'm just going to have to go to random places. Well, I may roll the stream shortly anyway, because I've got to find something to eat and also get back to the station. Oh, hello. What's this? Rust of all got in my belt. go back down towards the station. I'll show you the main street, and we'll pass actually Ruben's house on the way. Quite spectacular looking Baroque thing. I have been in once, I think, a long time ago. At the moment, though, this is rather mundane. Mix of the old and the new. Just to let you know that you actually are in Antwerp. They write it in big letters for you. Again, a mix of the old and the new. I like those gables. 16th century gables and 20th century crap. Curious, all these cars you see here. Antwerp has just brought in a low pollution zone. Every car that comes in here has to pass a certain certificate or level. Jinx. Are you watching Jinx? It's probably as cold where you are as where I am. To the main street now that leads to the station. And you've got things like Uniqlo and all that kind of stuff here. All the big shops and big crowds. So you're going to get lots of people's faces in your face at the moment. So walk down here. Waffles. Now I'm even more hungry. So, if Anna or Maya is watching, and Anna, you mentioned that you should have popped into Antwerp when you were in Belgium, as you should. Work visit. Somewhere along here is Ruben's house, or the way to get it. Remember, it's halfway along you turn right. It's not as busy as Tokyo. I'm getting hungrier and hungrier, folks. I'll show you Ruben's house and possibly make it to the station. So you can see the station. It's supposed to be one of the most beautiful stations in the world. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, but you can judge for yourselves when we get there. It's a bit like a small version of Grand Central Station in New York, for anybody that's there now. down here sometime. Yes, I mean, you can see the way to get to it. Not the, I mean, Ruben's house. Uniqlo, no, it's not past Uniqlo yet. Primark, H&M. This is free to talk to me. I did ask in my advert, come and join me, keep me company. I'm just talking to myself, it seems. I could do that. Oh. Belgian chocolates. I didn't send you any Belgian. I just sent you a bit of Belgian chocolate, Anna and Maya, but in a chocolate bar. I did bring some to Japan once. Did I? Yes. It's been taking longer than I thought to get there. I think there's the film museum here, the building with those old-fashioned lamps outside. Curiously enough, that's the Museum of Film and Photography. Was. Yes, it is. Yes. No, what? No, it's not. It's a chocolate place. My mistake. Yeah. Just have a quick look. It's rather posh. Ooh, yeah. I don't think I could afford lunch here. Oh no, there we go, copyright strike. Nice little garden. So we see. Okay. Oh, and this leads onto the street with the Ruben's house, that's right. Somewhere along here. There we go. All with the flags. Pictures by the people that stood outside in the photograph taking.
¿Quién era que quería esto?
Yes, it must be. Tickets. So I can just show you from the outside. It's like €10 to get in. Oh look, scaffolding. What a surprise. There's not a lot to see. But yes, Rubens was here. That's totally disappointing. Lots of paintings and stuff inside, as you would expect. Let's try and get back to, there's Rubens. Talking to one of my friends from New York. And the beards were in 400 years ago, and they're back again. towards the station. Second-hand bookshop here. Not quite book off. So, that was Antwerp. There are more areas. Perhaps I shall save those for another live stream when I run out of guests again. Battery is low. Okay. Connect with the voice. Sorry.